Welcome to the Rubric to Drive Student Growth Measurement How-To. This is a tutorial created by myself, Aaron Valdez. I worked on this with Leslie Sadowski at Churchill High School to help create a Google Forms connection to Google Sheets that would keep track of a rubric for each of your students throughout the year. If you're looking at this video tutorial, you probably have this how-to document in front of you. This document has all of the steps that we're going to follow in the video to create your how-to for you to keep with you. First thing we want to start with is creating a folder to keep your rubric in. So we're going to create a subject folder. This is going to be for an expository writing rubric, so I will make a new folder and call it expository. You can name your folder whatever your subject is that you're going to be using this form for. The next thing we're going to do is take a look at our Google form. So if I open up my expository form that I've already created, you can see that I have everything done and it's ready to go. There is a rubric or a link to how to create Google Forms in your Rubric to Drive Student Growth Measurement How-To document. If you have not done a Google Form before and someone has not shared one with you, you can work to create your own for your needs through that how-to. Now, you'll see this comes up, it says missing file upload folders. This is because this is a pre-existing form. It's one I've used before. I made a copy of it and I'm going to use it again, which is the idea behind this. You don't have to create the same thing each time. You're just making a copy and tweaking it for what you need. So I am going to hit restore because I do want it to create my folders. They're going to be empty, and that is fine. As I work, information will go into those folders because I will have students taking pictures. Okay, so I have my form. I'm going to go back to my Google Doc, and I'm going to put my expository filming inside that expository folder. If this pops up, that's okay. If you are sharing with someone, you just need to make sure you continue to share. Inside my expository folder, I can see my filming, and this is my my expository pre. I called it filming because I'm using it for the video. And I'm going to go ahead and make 2 copies. So I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say make a copy. The very first thing I want to do is rename it here. And I'm going to make this my during. And I'm going to get rid of copy of, because now it is different. I'm then going to open it because I need to make sure that it is titled correctly at the top, right here. I have to restore my folders again because this is creating a new copy. So I have my during, and you'll see it says expository during, and then I have one more copy I need to make. I'm going to rename, and this will be my post. Now these names are important, and it is important to keep track of which one you are completing at which time. They're all going to have the same questions. You already preload your students into them. The trick is when we are connecting them to our Google Sheets, we need to make sure that we have our pre in the pre spot, our during in the during spot, and our post in the post spot. I have seen where some forms have been messed up, so you just want to double check as we go through that things are kept in order. Okay, so I am going to open my post and make sure that I rename it and connect my folders. If these are brand new forms and you have not used them before, you haven't made a copy, you will not be prompted to connect these or restore these missing file upload folders. This is just if you've made a copy of a form and are using it again. So post, so now I have expository post, I have post, during, and pre, and I am ready now to go back to my drive and get my document for my Rubric to Drive. If you have a blank copy, you can use it straight out of your Google Drive. If you do not have a blank copy, we can open one right here from this document. I'm going to tap on it. It's going to prompt me to make a copy. I want to make a copy. And I am now looking at my Rubric to Drive. It says working. It's making an effort to upload all the formulas and get everything connected. I do want to make sure that this goes into the folder that I created. So I know that right now it's sitting in my main drive folder. So I'm going to tap on my Move To folder. And I'm going to store this inside the folder I created earlier for this, the expository folder. Right here, expository. And I'm going to say move here. This is just how I'm going to keep everything organized and know that this is for this project. Okay, and you'll see here I have a roster tab. This is Google Sheets. I have a roster tab, okay, and it has some formulas in here. And then I have a rubric template. And this rubric template will fill in based on us connecting these Google Forms. Okay. So the next thing that we need to do is link the forms to this file. To do that is actually pretty easy. In our form, we're going to look at our responses. It should be blank. If they're not, that's fine. It'll fill in based on what's already there. But we're going to go to this Create Spreadsheet. But instead of letting it create a new spreadsheet, we're going to select an existing spreadsheet. I'm going to say Select. And we should be looking at our most recent copy of the Rubric to Drive template. It says 8:26 a.m. I know that that's a fact, the right one. If you are unsure, you can navigate to your folder and open it. So I'm going to go ahead and link it because I know that it's the right one. Right here where it says Spreadsheet Linked, I'm going to go ahead and open that spreadsheet. And I'm looking at a tab that says Form Response 6. Well, I don't want it called Form Response 6. I want to use this pre, okay? It's my pre-form. So I'm going to right click, or I can tap this little drop down arrow, and I'm going to rename and call it pre. Press enter. It is now tab pre. I'm now going to move to my during tab and do the same thing. Responses. Create spreadsheet, select existing spreadsheet, select. Again, I know that I am connecting to my most recent spreadsheet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to say open, let it open another copy. It's okay if it has multiple copies open. I'll show you how to close the ones that are duplicates. Again, a little arrow or a right click, rename. And this one is during. So those have been renamed. And finally, we're going to do the post. I'm going to go to responses, create spreadsheet, select existing, select, Rubric to Drive template. And when it pops up down here, I'm going to go ahead and open it. And I am going to rename to post. Okay. Once I have these renamed, I actually want to drag them in order behind the roster and Rubric template tab. So I'm going to do pre, during, post, sometimes it doesn't do what you want, so you have to force it. There we go. So pre, during, post, they all look exactly the same, and that is fine. Okay. I'm going to go ahead up here, and I'm going to keep this tab open, but I'm going to close these other copy of tabs because it's the same document, and I don't need them. You can leave them open if you want to. It is not going to mess anything up. So I have my pre, during, post, I have my roster, and I have my rubric template. Now you're going to see that we need to update some of this information because right now I'm getting reference errors, and filter errors, and these are existing because we haven't finished the formulas. So we're going to look at the rubric template tab. Rubric template tab, and we're just going to double click on these that show an error and press enter, and they will update. Now, when you update the pre, during, and post, if you have not had students fill out any of these forms, they're going to show either blank or an error. That's only because there's nothing there yet. That's okay, you want that. If a student has filled it out, you'll notice that students' information will start showing up. We're also going to go to our roster here. Press enter twice, it should be blank. Email address, press enter twice, it should be blank. When students fill out your form, it will begin populating that information. So you are now ready to share your pre-form with your students. I am going to make another video that will follow up on how to access the data from your forms based on students filling out. Now, if you have not shared a form with someone before, you're going to be looking at this send button, and you have a couple of choices. You can email it to your students. If they are middle or high school students, they can receive emails. But my favorite thing to do is take this link right here, copy it, and put it in my Google Classroom. If you don't have a Google Classroom and you want to use a QR code, you can use a free QR code generator online. Those things are available for multi-use, and you can hang it up in your classroom and have students use the iPad or their cell phones to complete the form. All right. If you have any questions or need any help with any of this, feel free to contact me, Erin Valdez, at EVALDE and the number 2 at neisd.net. I'll be happy to come out and help you set them up or look at anything if it's not working correctly. I'll see you in the next video.